Good evening, everyone. This is Spencer Keck with the Hillbilly Thinktank coming at you from Hardin County, Kentucky, Tunnel Hills area of Elizabethtown. Y'all, it's been an amazing week, hasn't it? We've had some great weather, another day of scampering with the dogs by Freeman Lake, and just really loving this great weather. Great time to get out, enjoy the what do we got before it gets cold eventually, which I've got no problem with. I enjoy it all. That's why I like living in a state that has all seasons, not just hot and cold. We get the whole gamut. But this week we also had, sadly, lost a great governor, Martha Lane Collins, and I was thinking back to a lot of the accomplishments that occurred while she was governor. You know, the Toyota plant that was built in Georgetown due to her negotiations. I really did a lot to help put Kentucky on the map when it comes to international production and when it comes to hiring a lot of people. I know people from all over the state, from Appalachia to central Kentucky, went to work every day. A lot of them would make that commute because it paid so well, provide another good union job that this state needed. I know that she also did a lot for my current employment, which is as a teacher. It was due to her efforts that we got a lot of general education improvements and gave us that 1990 led to that 1990 landmark change that's really improved Kentucky education since then. We still got a long ways to go, but actually that got me to thinking, the last 5 years, we've had a lot of similar improvements too. Just looking at the list of them, education has been something that for the first time in a long time, we've really given a lot of thought. And that was something that our current governor and lieutenant governor promised because our lieutenant governor, just like Martha Lane Collins, they're both teachers. And so um, looking at what we've done for our education, we've really got a historic, significant investment in education lately. In the last 5 years, we have made Kentucky a national leader in job growth, and that's something that just, was almost unthought of. Was people used to have to leave Kentucky on that hillbilly highway to go up to Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, to get those industrial jobs. Well, thanks to our current governor here in Hardin County, man, we're booming. We need more houses. We're booming so much. We're about 4,500. I'm sorry, units short. It's this projected job growth that the Blue Oval SK plant is making. That's a good thing to need, right? We got to make more houses to employ more people here. And it just, man, we're really, really fortunate to have that as our problem. But as that comes along, we've also, in the last 5 years, secured more than $2 billion in our state for high-speed internet to date. That keeps us, up to date with other states that we compete with. We've delivered more than $412 million for clean drinking water. Now, this to me is extremely important because I'm an outdoorsman. And if I have clean drinking water, that also is going to correlate to fishing and hunting. The things that I'm going to catch or harvest are going to be healthier. That's going to be healthier for me to consume. It's also much more enjoyable to go down rivers and streams that are clean, pure, and as beautiful as when Daniel Boone saw him when he first came through. You know, so lately, besides just having that record low unemployment in Kentucky, we've had nearly $1.5 billion investment by General Matter in Western Kentucky. That's an American uranium enrichment company, which will create 140 well-paying jobs. You know, all this job growth from Western Kentucky, Hardin County. You know, that Toyota plant's still going well in Georgetown. We know Ford's retooling in Louisville. They're gonna once they come back from that retooling, still gonna be employing folks here in Hardin County. You know, we make parts for them also. That's why we have such a good, strong UAW membership here. So Kentucky's doing good. We're now Kentucky's the electric vehicle battery capital in the United States. So that Louisville SK battery park, in addition to giving us 5,000 jobs, that's a $2 billion investment, right? So, man, it can't not beat what's going on. And I'm hoping that this keeps on rolling. You know, like to know that the folks around here, when their kids complete high school, that they can go on ahead and see them stay in the area. You know, nothing better than your kids being able to stay where they grew up if they so desire and prosper. You know, I know that I enjoyed all the time I got to spend in the military, but God, it's good to come home, you know, and be home in Kentucky and back where, as I said last night, just the kindness of the majority of Kentucky folks and the majority of Kentucky places. You know, where else can you go and folks will just talk to you, you know, give you the time of day. We know you can't find that in New York City. um, we can't find that in a lot of other big cities, but we got friendly places, friendly folks here in Kentucky. It's that neighborliness that we all really just love. And we want to see folks not have to leave here, but now stay and keep partaking in this kind, neighborly, friendly state I love so much. So, hey, if anyone tries to tear Kentucky down, there's a lot of accomplishments we got. The list was a lot longer. I didn't go over the whole thing, but just, you know, the death of Martha Lane Collins reminded me where some of that initial growth started from. Yeah. Of course, she worked for John Brown as his lieutenant governor. We saw a lot of improvements start there, but when she came in as the government, you know, the governor of Kentucky, that Georgetown plant, that really meant a lot. Yeah. Now we have Ford here. We've got Toyota. Of course, we've got General Motors with the Corvette plant down there in Bowling Green. This state offers a lot more than the most of the nation realizes. You know, we're not a flyover state. We're more than that, at least to those of us who live here. So I think I'll take a little break, sip on one of my other favorite Kentucky products, some Maker's Mark, and reminisce about the greatness of Kentucky and look forward to us staying great, becoming even greater. Have a great evening.